Nikki, thank you very much. The second day of testimony in the 7 deadly sins trial in Morgan County included the jury dealing with hours of crime scene and autopsy photos.
The case involves 7 murder victims, and we want to warn you, today's testimony was graphic and may be disturbing to some viewers. News 19's investigative reporter Dallas Parker was live and is in that courtroom and joins us now. And Dallas, sounds like it was a tough day for people inside the courtroom.
That's right, guys. The prosecution's focus this morning was showing the jury the extent of the victim's injuries and the magnitude of how many times each victim was shot, and the exit and entry wounds, things of that nature. All of them were shot several times. 4 of the 7 victims were actually burned post-mortem, according to the state's forensic pathologist on the stand today. The victims' ages ranged from 17 years old to 45 years old at that house on Toluca Road in Valamosa Springs. Now, Frederick Rogers and his co-defendant John Legg, who does not have a trial date, were a part of a motorcycle club known as the 7 Deadly Sins. Testimony this afternoon by a woman who knew the 2 men said Rogers was the president of the club and John Legg was the vice president. She suggested that the pair was angry at the club members over the handling of some drugs and guns they had stored at the house on Toluca Road where those killings took place on June 4th of 2020. But the witness testified she had no idea that they were going to resort to violence that night. The woman said 2 of the victims lived at that home in Valamosa Springs where the killings took place, and she told jurors today that Rogers and Legg were angry because there was a birthday party the night before the killings in which some photos were taken, and there were some of those guns that they were upset about earlier in the day in the background of those photos, and those photos were subsequently uploaded to social media. She told jurors that they were angry about that, and the witness also told them that they thought about disbanding the club. Now, during cross-examination, the defense asked the woman about her statements to the FBI following the killings, and they highlighted that some of those statements that she made conflicted with her testimony to the jury today. Of course, we ended today's testimony on the state's witness. He was an FBI agent who was in charge with locating the suspects at that time. They were found in Oregon days after the crimes were committed, and he talked about the technology they used, the geofencing and some other technology as far as surveillance was concerned to locate those suspects, in Oregon when they were apprehended there and transported back to Alabama. So tomorrow we'll pick up on cross-examination from the defense of that FBI agent. But for now, reporting live from Morgan County, I'm Dallas Parker, News 19.